Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Rabbi Shalom Yamini, and each week we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find practical and insightful ways to enhance your daily life. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor of our homeland, Eretz Yisroel. May Kadosh Baruch Hu, may God protect our brave soldiers, and may God return all the hostages from Gaza immediately. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor and in memory of my grandfather, Rav Yeudah Ben Aaron, as well as Shlomo Ben Edward, Ben Efraim, and Yirachmiel Daniel Ben Gedalia. May the souls be uplifted and may the memories be a blessing. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor and in merit of the holy Ohr Hachaim Rav Chaim Ibn Attar, a commentary I quote quite often. His Yahrzeit, the anniversary of his passing, is on the 15th of Tammuz, this upcoming Sunday. He was an immense Kabbalist and a giant Torah scholar, and these unique attributes are reflected in his commentary, the Ohr Hachaim. He is one of the few people with Hakadosh, the holy, at the end of his name. The holy Rav Pinchas of Karts said that the Sefer Ohr Hachaim protects the home, and learning it has the same effect on the soul as learning the Kabbalah, as learning Zohar. Today, the release date of this episode is the 12th of Tammuz, where we celebrate the birthday and the release from prison of the previous Chabad Rebbe, Rav Yosef Yitzchak Schneersohn, of blessed memory. Born in 1880 in Russia, the Rebbe, known as the Rayyatz, led with courage, led with dedication, keeping Judaism alive during the darkest times in recent memory. In 1940, he came to America and founded a yeshiva, a religious school, declaring that America is nicht anders. America is no different. And his legacy lives on through his passion and care for every Jew and dedication to God, which was magnified by his son-in-law, our Rebbe, Rav Menachem Mendel Schneersohn, of blessed memory. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Balak, Blessings and Choices. Our Parsha tells us the story of Balak and Bilam. Balak was the king of Moav and was worried about his upcoming battle with the Jewish nation. Moshe Rabbeinu and the Jewish nation had just won their wars with the powerful countries of Amor and Bashan. So Balak recruited Bilam, the famous non-Jewish prophet, to curse the Jewish people and hopefully defeat them in battle. When Bilam was told of Balak's request, God appeared to Bilam and said that he is not allowed to curse the Jewish people, for they are blessed. Bilam sent word back to Balak that God would not allow him to curse the Jewish people. Balak then sent higher-level ministers back to Bilam and promised him great riches in return for his services. But once again, God appeared to Bilam, but this time allowed him to go, providing that Bilam only said the words that God told him to. In the end, Bilam blessed the Jewish nation 3 separate times before Balak, the king of Moav, sent Bilam away and decided to do something else instead. However, a question comes to mind. The Parsha begins by introducing Balak. Vayar Balak ben Tzipor es kol asher asa Yisroel le'emayri. And Balak ben Tzipor saw what the Jewish nation had done to the nation of Amor. But only 2 psukim later, after the Torah writes that the nation of Moav was very afraid of the Jewish people, does it say, Balak ben Tzipor melech leMoav be'esahi, and Balak ben Tzipor was the king of Moav at that time? Why doesn't the Torah introduce Balak initially as the king of Moav? Why does it wait until the 3rd pasuk to tell us what position he held? The Ramban, Rav Moshe ben Nachman, a leading Torah scholar from the 12th century, gives an interesting explanation. He writes that after seeing the resounding defeat of Amor and Bashan, Balak was afraid to be recognized as the king of Moav. At the end of last week's Parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu notably kills the kings of Amor and Bashan. We say special praise to God for this miracle during the prayers on Shabbos morning. Lamake malachim gedolim, vayahareg malachim adirim, l'sichon melech hamoiri, u'lo'ig melech Bashan. For striking down great kings, for slaying mighty kings, for killing Sichon, the king of Amor, and for killing Og, the king of Bashan. According to the Ramban, only after Balak received advice from Midian was he comfortable proclaiming that he was king of Moav. He now had a strategy on how to deal with the nation near his borders, to defeat them spiritually, and then he would beat them physically. He would first engage Bilam to curse the Jewish people, eliminating their godly spirit, and then hopefully defeat them in battle, which had never happened and will not happen. However, the Rabbeinu Bechaya, Rav Ben Asher, gives a deeper and more profound explanation. He writes that the Torah does not introduce Balak as the king of Moav because it was foretold to Avram Avinu that Moav would become our mortal enemy. During his many prophecies, Avram was told which nations would battle and be defeated by the Jewish nation on their way to the Promised Land. According to the Rabbeinu Bechaya, Balak had a choice to make. Were the Jewish people a threat to Moav or not? They had not sent any messengers to ask for permission to cross the land of Moav, nor had they made any advancements near his borders, and Balak had a decision. Panic despite not being in danger or ignore the Jewish people as they traveled to their holy land. The Rabbeinu Bechaya explains that the Torah does not pigeonhole Balak, does not force him by introducing him as the king of Moav. Balak did not have to become the mortal enemy of the Jewish people. He could have ignored the nation as they traveled to their promised land, but instead, he chose to fulfill the prophecy and join the list of our enemies in the dustpan of history. After consulting with the elders of Midian and deciding to battle with the Jewish people, does the Torah state, Balak ben Tzipor, Melech Moav be'Isahi, and Balak was the king of Moav at that time. Once Balak made his choice and decided to make the Jewish people his enemy, what followed after that, what followed and happened afterwards, was not in his hands. Like God hardening Paro's heart so the world could see God's power and God's strength, when Balak decided which option he would take, God took the reins away and solidified his choice for eternity. This profound lesson is ever more relevant as we celebrate the previous Chabad Rebbe's birthday and release from prison. When the Frierdiker Rebbe arrived in America, he made a very clear and distinctive choice. He declared America is nicht anders, America is no different. With the same courage, with the same strength, he fought to keep Judaism alive in comfortable America, with no KGB or police to be afraid of. And that evening, he established a yeshiva that keeps our tradition alive and well. In our daily life, we must realize that every action we take, spiritual or physical, has the ultimate significance. Our future is not entirely written. There is no fate we cannot change. There is no prediction we cannot defy because we control our destiny. We can lead ourselves toward success through our choices, willpower, and determination. We are created in the image of God, meaning we have free choice. We can choose to stay stagnant in our lives or learn from past experiences and change, grow, and reach our full potential. We can change history, but only if we choose to do it. There is an immensely profound part of an essay by Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks of blessed memory. Choice is like a muscle, use it or lose it. Jewish law is an ongoing training regimen in willpower. Can you eat this, not that? Can you exercise spiritually 3 times a day? Can you rest 1 day in 7? Can you defer gratification of instinct, what Freud took as the mark of civilization? Can you practice self-control, the surest sign of future success in life? To be a Jew, says Rabbi Sacks, means not going with the flow, not doing what others do just because they're doing it. It gives us 613 exercises in the power of will to shape our choices. And this is how we, along with God, become the co-authors of history. Have a great weekend and good Shabbos.
Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.